Hello everyone, I am Dr. Berk. Can immunity develop against erectile dysfunction medications? Why did we choose such a title? Because especially inappropriate medications, meaning when the drugs are not used at the correct dosage. For example, starting with XMs, then increasing to 2 XMs after a while, and then to 3 XMs. So what is being said? So do these medications actually create immunity? Is there such a thing? That's the question. The clear answer to this question is no. Immunity does not develop against medications. The topic is different. Let me explain right away. Now, why are these medications used, erectile dysfunction medications? One is for recreational performance enhancement. Humans are insatiable. So if they achieve 1, they want 2. If they get 2, they want 3. They think, let me go for 4 or 5. This is performance enhancement. It's always the same person, especially for married couples, etc. After a while, there's no end to this. So, for example, a medication that used to be sufficient at 10 mg is no longer enough, and it gets increased to 20 mg and so on. So performance is an endless pit. I always say that sexuality is an endless pit. So there's no bottom to it. So don't try to go too deep because you might get hurt. They usually say all that, but it doesn't matter since they are using it inappropriately. There are those who use it out of anxiety. This is something that is very common. So, during a relationship that comes from youth, will there be an erection or not? Actually, there is no erectile dysfunction normally. Masturbation is also good for everything, but this happens a lot, especially in first-night relationships. Will I be able to satisfy the other person? I wonder if my erection will be good. Oh, instead of thinking about these things, they say, this time, let me just go. Get some medication. Yes, then there won't be a problem, but the issue is that this anxiety and worry never goes away. As anxiety and worry grow, the dosage of the medication has to increase. Anxiety and worry grow even more, and the dosage of the medication has to increase. The right thing here is not to use medication, but to understand where your anxiety and worry are coming from. Because anxiety and worry are just emotions. If you find out where this feeling is coming from and resolve it, the problem will disappear. So medications won't help you develop such immunity or anything. Diseases and most importantly, premature ejaculation. Now this is especially important regarding premature ejaculation. Why? In people who ejaculate early, I mean, you started the relationship, you went back and forth 10 times, then you ejaculated, and you didn't get properly satisfied. The other person didn't get properly satisfied. This time you say, let me have the second relationship. After a while, I'll last a bit longer there. My partner will be satisfied too. But we said this isn't something sustainable, especially in marriage. Or if you've been with the same partner for a long time, having 2, 3, or 4 instances like that won't be very common. So what does the person do? I'm thinking of taking a medication for erectile dysfunction. After taking the medication, he wants to go into the second time, but that's unsustainable. He says he wants to comfortably go into the second and third times, but that's not something sustainable either. Because after a while, the premature ejaculation in the first relationship happens very quickly. Why? I'm glad it happens quickly, so I can move on to the second one. That's the logic behind using medication. This is also not sustainable, and it requires increasing the dosage. Diseases, and most importantly, I think, this is the topic that concerns us. If you have any disease, let's say you have diabetes, and you're using erectile dysfunction medication, over time you develop a tolerance to the medication, and you end up increasing the dosage, right? That's not the issue. Let's say you have diabetes. Let's give an example from that. Let's say you have disease X, you have this disease, you got the medication yourself. Let's say you took 25 million of medication. Everything is great, perfect, going well. Your firmness is getting really good, but you didn't receive real treatment. You just took medication because medications don't cure. It temporarily fixes whatever problem there is. Well, this disease X continues. Whether it progresses or not doesn't matter. It keeps going on. The destruction continues. You're getting older. Other diseases come into play. What happens when all of these come together? After a while, 25 milliliters stops being effective. Actually, it's not that the medication isn't effective. Because your current situation has progressed further, you now have to use 50 milliliters instead of 25 milliliters. There is no immunity or tolerance developing to this 25 milliliters. Your condition is getting worse. But if you had started treatment and taken this medication while you had disease X, then despite this part being like this, you wouldn't have had to increase the dose, or you wouldn't have had to use any medication at all. So you took 25 mg, you got treated, and you wouldn't have had to use the full medication anymore. This is quite important. So let me summarize. There is no tolerance or immunity that develops to erectile dysfunction medications. Because your current situation has worsened and there's more of a problem, you now have to take a higher dose of medication. Thank you.